I did a practice run last night, and I was able to get this one on here pretty good by myself. What I end up doing, and which I'll video the next one, is I get this set up like this right here, and I use a set of forceps to clamp it down on the middle right there. And then I get some solder going, a little bit build up on there, then I can take the clamp off, and then I can use it one hand here and one hand on the soldering iron. It's really, from what I remember, 500 years ago when I was into electronics, and I actually went to school at ITT Technical, when you soldered there was always a third hand. Basically, it was this weighted telescopic, you could bend it any direction. It had a alligator clip on the end, and like you would have just clamped it to this wire right here, and you would have bent it and forced it into a position like that, and it would hold the wire, and then your other hand's free to use the solder. But I think this is going to work. That joint looks pretty good, I think. And like I said, I've yanked around on it, and it's not coming off. So as long as I can get all of them about like that. And what I'm going to have to do, because all my wires are the same colors, I'll probably do 2 at a time, and then I'll go up in here and I'll kind of pull on it and figure out which wire it is, and then I'll go ahead and butt clamp that to the factory digital harness, which will sit right in this area right here. It uses 2 of those 3 holes, I believe. Let's see here. It goes in there like that. I don't know if that thing's broke or what, or maybe it doesn't even fit this kind of dash, but that's where it goes, right there. I'm Johnny Garage Johnson, and this is Hardcore Garage. Welcome to Hardcore Garage. I'm just sitting here waiting for part 2 just like you. Let's get into it with this wiring. I'm going to throw you guys a wiring diagram on here for the 8943 before we get started. And this shows which wires. Your 18 pin is on the left. Your digital 34 pin is on the right. And I've just broke it down into colors for you. The 1 through 18 is the numbers on the 18 pin, but there are no numbers on the 34 pin. Let's try it right there and see what happens. Just brushing a little bit of this paste on there, and I'll put a little bit on the wire too, just a little bit. See if I can do this without blocking the view for you all. Gotta get it under there a little bit. It's fun to breathe all this stuff too. Oh yeah, look there, it gets fucking hot quick. Nope. Yeah, you couldn't see any of that, could you? It flowed right real nice onto there after you get her going, man. So I yank on this guy here, and I know it's moving the one that's on the first pin, and that goes to gray. So then we're going to go over here, and we're going to find the gray wire, which is this one back here that I'm touching. Gray. And it's going to connect to that wire. We're just going to butt connect that. There's just not a lot of room in here. So let's get this guy started here. Put her in the middle there. For my crimpers. My Klein crimpers here. And then we're going to go over here and try to run my other arm around here like this and get that wire to go all the way in there. And we crimp as hard as we can. And I believe we take a little tug on her and that wire is good. Okay, then my next one would be number 2. And I can either, let's look, this isn't even holding anything anymore. That's cool. I just used that. I used the clamp to keep this thing from flipping over, because this is actually upside down. Whenever it mounts, it's going to go like this, and that's why I'm running the wires over and under too, so when I do rotate it, all the wires should be lined up in the same. But anyway, okay, so it looks like our second wire in there, first wire was gray, second wire is pink and black, which is a power, and it is going to go to a pink and black over here, which I think, okay, yeah, we only have one pink and black, the other is pink and white. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to double check just to make sure that it goes to the pink and black wire. On my list here, pink and black, oh, nope, see, it tells me pink and black goes to pink and white, number 2. So the other pink and black that's over here, I don't know if it's on this side or the other side, it's on the other side, goes to pink and black. Hopefully. We got that right anyway, right? Hopefully. Okay, so let's pull this out. Get that wire kind of tight. I'm talking right into the camera here. And that is a pink and white wire right there, is it not? Okay, so again, we'll get our crimpers ready here. My quimpa. Slide that pink and white wire in there as far as we can until it bottoms out. And squeeze like a mofo. Then we'll go back and we'll give it a little tug, and she looks good. Now what I'll do is I'll run 2 more wires down through there and up to here, and I'll go ahead and solder the next 2. This is where home ec class comes in handy. You learn how to sew. Except for, oops, I got one. And there's a okay, that one made it. There's a metal clip back here that I don't want this wire to go through or anything like that. I believe that's got her good there. And then we'll take these 2 wires. Let me get them back to about the same length. And don't pull all the way in there, guys. I should have removed the steering wheel in this thing. It would have made it a little easier. It seems a little bit ridiculous, but it's true. Okay. So, we're learning how to sew. And now we have it. I wonder if it would have been easier if I'd have left that thing clipped in there. Oh, these got to go under. Let's not forget that. We don't want a big old crazy bundle of wires here when we get done. Those will go just like that. Let's pull them out of here. Let's see if I can clip that in here. But anyway, that's how we do it, guys. I'm going to have to do that. Let's see. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So 2 more times after this. Then I'll flip that back over the way it goes. Do the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the bottom. Okay. We are halfway done. Now I'm just going to flip this plug over. And that's actually going to give me more wire there, I believe, anyway. Maybe. Got the green. What's next is going to be our blacks. So this is the one that's going to have two. This one. One more left, and that's going to be my light blue. That's going to be my turn series. And the rest of these wires, the orange goes to my cigarette lighter, and one of those whites goes to the main computer to read the RPMs. This brown wire is going to go over here to read the dimmer, and I don't know what the second white is. The other white would be like maybe for rear ABS, maybe. I don't know. Hopefully I'm okay so far. Get me some demonetized there from the music. That's pretty much what she's going to look like, and it's looking like everything is working. So you know what I never did check, and I probably ought to really do that, is check those bulbs in this little section here, because this is a whole lot harder to get out the next time than it is to do it right now. But yeah, everything looks like it's lit up. Let's hit the trip here and see what happens. Trip 700. Can we reset the trip? Yes, we can. Nice. Too bad we can't reset the... Here's what I'm doing when I come over here every time. This is basically a little metal tin, I guess, and this is some, looks like maybe brass, but that's how you clean this thing. Like, just rub it in there, twist it around a little bit, and then we take this stuff here is a tinner, and I just kind of, and it shines the tip up just like you put, just like when you would have put solder on it. And then I'll usually take and dab a little tiny bit of solder on the end of that thing, if I can see here. Yeah, just like that. And that smoke's lead base, so it's not good to breathe. You can always flick it off there if you got extra. Well, I am super stoked about that. I'm still waiting for my 2 steps back. Maybe that was the silver tab there, just kind of give me a little bit. Well, them last two were just a little crazy, but we got her done. I did run, it's that wire right there, the brown wire, which is what this one does, is dims the digital cluster when you turn your headlights on. So you got to run it over to the headlight plug and then connect it into the brown wire. I just used a Scotch Lock T-tap. I know a lot of people don't like those, but I would much rather do that and have it fail or for whatever reason than cut my wires or anything like that. So that's what we're doing. My next plan, and I got to go look and see which one. I think it's this top one. This white wire is going to go run over to my computer. Not really the computer, but the wire harness. I'll light it up under there in a second and show you which wire we are going to there, and hopefully that is correct. And then the last wire that we have will be this orange. And most people suggest to go to the cigarette lighter, which is this one here, but I need to check to make sure that is hot constant because my cigarette lighter does not work right now. Okay, it is number 4, which again, these are kind of hard to you just got to count from every side. But anyway, if you count from the right, that is that white one there is in the 4th slot. So it's going to be this one here for sure. The other white wire over here, I believe, is in the 2nd slot, or depending on, again, how you counted them out, that would be 18, 19. Yeah, 19. So it's definitely not that one because it's in the 2nd spot. This one's in the 4th spot. I know some of it's a little confusing. What are you doing there? At least I got good helpers. Huh. What up, dogs? Am I doing it right? Okay, I've got my wire over there. I'm just running it up inside the dash. Came over through here and wrapped her back around, and this is going to go to that white wire from a Tach. Okay, we are under the passenger side floorboard, or dash. This is where your main harness comes in. Follow this around, and there'll be, this harness was taped to the side of it here. I just busted the tape to give me a little bit more room. Now, if you look here, I don't think, yeah, I can't see shit, huh? Neither can you. You can see there's a white and brown wire on the bottom of that plug there, but on the top there is no, right between the two browns there's nothing. Okay, but on this side you can clearly see the white wire. Well, this truck never had a Tach. That's why there isn't a white wire on the truck side of the harness, but the engine side over here, going to the computer, there is a white wire because the computer needs to know the RPM and the truck does not. I think that's a good explanation anyway. I could be wrong. But anyway, that's the white wire that I'm tapping into, is right there. And I'm going to use a Scotch lock. Again, I don't know if you guys have ever seen these. If you hate them, love them, whatever. Some of them are a little different. This one here, you can see one hole goes all the way through and one has a stop in it. That stops the wire from coming out this end. So the hole that's all the way through will clip onto that white wire. My wire will slide into the other side, and then you'll just smash this piece down. I don't know if I can do this on camera. If you've never seen these guys, some people hate them. I think that they're pretty cool just because they don't, I'm not cutting a factory wire or anything like that. So if it does, you know, fail, it can be fixed easier than screwing with the main harness of a vehicle, cutting wires, soldering, all that stuff. So fumbling around. That one felt better. It went straight down that time, I believe, anyway. Fold that over and clip that together. Yeah, look, sometimes people gotta put like a, there we go. And hopefully that worked. We wired our orange wire with another Scotch lock into the mount for the cigarette lighter. Had to tear more stuff out. Surely you guys know how to get that panel out. It's 3 screws. I think that we're done. As far as mechanical stuff, everything else is just putting stuff back together. So I am going to plop this dash in here and probably pull this thing outside, start it up, see if turn signals, what all works. Maybe even take it for a little ride just to see the speedometer and all that stuff. The only other thing that I'm really concerned with right now is maybe should I go ahead and buy all new the little bulbs. I mean, it'd be a pain in the butt to try to pull this out if I got one bulb out. You know, the actual ones that you can change, not the LEDs. And no, I'm not putting LEDs in there either. So let's do that. Got my headlight switch temporarily in there. Got this guy sitting in here. Hopefully we can go for a ride and not lose something. All right. Here goes nothing. Service engine light went off. That's good. Do we have a Tach? We have a Tach. Tach is working. No warning lights. No temperature. We got good oil pressure. Battery is charging. Fuel is good. Let's look at some turn signals. These are the fucking coolest thing ever. If that ain't Night Rider, I don't know what is. Oh man, I'm happy. Okay, a note, I got to remember to put my gear selector guy. That'll be something important. Let's hit this trip. Where's it at? And we're going to see if the trip will hold information and if it works. And we're going to get to see if the speedometer works too. Oh, look, it works. Trip is working. Speedometer is working. Get those colors changed out of there to all green and we'll be in there, guys. So that's a pretty good milestone right there, just getting to drive it and see all this digital stuff changing. Let's do some heat shrinking. I don't know that I've ever done heat shrink before. Probably not too difficult, but we're going to do it. It's a U-clip. These are a bit big. We're going to see if they'll work. I can't find any smaller ones right now. But I think these will be okay. Or maybe they won't. That one's going to push right into that freaking wire harness whenever it screws in, isn't it? That ought to be nice. Okay. So, let's feed these wires back in here. Yeah, that isn't going to work with that one. Okay, so I can maybe flip this guy this way. I think that'll work. Hopefully that's in the right spot. The easiest way to check these bulbs is to check your continuity. And what continuity is basically that there's just a clear path that's not obstructed. So there's a clear path going all the way around. We know that that's a completed circuit. So you can just touch on the backs of each of these bulbs. And if it's a completed circuit, that means that the bulb's good. Nothing blown in that bulb. One there that's bad. All of them are good, but these two right here. There's nothing. I'm gonna make sure we drop that shift cable down through there so I can get a hold of it. Nice to get some back in there. I think that has me at least partially. Two steps forward, 3 steps back this time. I get it. I ain't ashamed. I don't have no experience with the digital dash, but yeah, I got more assembling to do before I should have shoved that thing in the hole. So now I got to pull it back. Yep, it's got to come back out. Hopefully it just pops right out. Now I probably should have had a what's in the box for this, because this little box here is pretty awesome. If you ever order anything from Brian Ruby, Ruby spelled H-R-U-B, he has some amazing stuff, and he will always deliver quality products, and you'll make sure you get it. This thing's wrapped in leather. These are the lenses that are going to replace these guys, and if you just look here, these just come right off, and there's just two little holes in there, and this foam is just destroyed. You can see when I touch it, it just comes right off. And I didn't want to try to clean it because I figured I'd scratch this for one thing. But the other thing is, I don't even want those colors anymore. We're going to go with these brand new fluorescent green. And another thing, be very careful when you pop these in here. I don't know if you guys can see, there's two little holes. That one right there is actually the tab that broke off here when I was test fitting this thing. I hope. Oops. Oh, that one broke off too. Now I'm gonna have to figure out a way to like glue this in here. Yep, broke those little tabs right off. Can you see them sticking out here? Well, I wasn't lying about the 2 steps forward, 3 back, see? So, what I'm gonna do here, and these pretty much could probably just float there, but when you stick this on the other piece, it's going to fall off if you don't have it, you know, in the right spot. So let's get a little bit of power grab is what I was looking for. A couple little dabs. This stuff dries clear, and it's super sticky as soon as it comes out, so a little bit there, a little bit there. That may be enough. Let's just put a little dab right here in the corner. That dry while we try to break some more. Comes right off. He also sent me a green one if I wanted a little contrast. I don't remember exactly what color green he called that, but it's a little different. I am going to try all these guys first. Lay it off to the side. Went on one and broke the other one. That's why we got a jump here. Right here. It's just fill that void. Stuff, once it dries, you can peel it right off, so we're gonna have to let this sit for a minute, I believe, before I can pretty sure I'm gonna put this on before I stick anything all together, and that goes on like this from the underside. There we go. Just like that. Nut driver extraordinaire. Two extra screws in there. Fast turn signal. This guy up again, remember? Just that spot there, right there. It's right in there. That slide should work good. And you can pull it up and down and adjust it there a little bit if it's not quite right. It's like my face is laying right against it. See the cable back in there and the little red clip. I gotta pull it over and plug it into that thing and then hook the metal end over that right there. Got the cable on over there. Now I'm just about to pop this guy in here, hopefully. That's in. Now I just gotta find the little cover for that thing again. It's another little washer here in my bin. There it is right there. That guy. It's got to go on there. That's going to be fun. I can do it with. Hey, look. Put it upside down. See if I can use this in here. Oh, look. Right on. Probably just freaking come right back off. Okay, so that was super easy. Let's get this guy over here bolted in. Over here, let's not put that plate in here. Damage, it's in the middle. We're not putting 2 screws back. I think I've got everything buttoned up. far along. I'm not quite ready to call it done just yet, but we are super close. 90. That feels good. Feels real good. Get something done. Some hiccups there and whatnot along the way. It turned out real nice. I would rate this a skill level. How about not skill level, difficulty level? An 8. And really, that's probably a little more difficult for me than it might be for somebody else, or maybe even a little easier for, just so many things could go wrong. You're screwing with your electronics, your cluster, your harness. Depending on how if you decide to do it, if you're going to solder, if you're going to cut the harness off and repin, my biggest thing is just research your specific vehicle, not necessarily digital dash swaps and stuff like that. I mean, that didn't really do it for me, but being able to have the wiring diagrams for an 89 was very, very helpful. But I'll also say that when I tried to do this, if you guys remember, I was working off of the 89 Iron Duke 5-speed harness. Totally different. The wires, all the pin locations, numbers, same amount, 18 pin, but they were all different color wires. Like this one here, number 1 on your 18 pin is a gray wire. On that one, it was a black, or blue and black. Can't remember what that went to. Yeah, I don't remember. But anyway, all the colors were different. Most of the color wires do connect to the same color wires. There are some differences, but like your turn signals, yellow went to yellow, green to green, and that's what I'm going to try to lay it out as super simple like that as I can with you guys to let you know that it really is that there shouldn't be a bunch of math involved. After so many people have done this, it should just be really easy as far as like the wiring part of it. But other than that, get your cluster, figure out if it works. You may have to have it reflowed, or you can try that yourself. There is videos on that also on YouTube. Basically what they're doing is just reheating the solder, every single solder joint on there. I think there is some videos that show you which ones are more than likely the ones that are going bad, but they re-solder heat up every single solder joint on there, and it causes it to reflow if there's a crack or something like that, making a bad connection. So I am totally satisfied. I will take this thing out. It's late now tonight. Probably, I don't know, it's dark. It seems like it's midnight. I'm going to take it for a ride in the morning and make sure everything is good. I think I've got everything back in here other than the fuse cover. I've got to find one. I don't know if I lost mine or who knows. I'll get it. But anyway, I will go over all those schematics and stuff with you guys and leave some copies in here so you can see them. Kind of might help you guys out. May make it even worse like everybody did for me. Hope you enjoyed it though, guys, along the ride. This was probably one hell of a long video, and at least it was informative, and it was S10 based stuff, so, and a cool result. So y'all take it easy. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Keep on trucking. Merry Christmas too. I'm pretty sure we're probably at Christmas, right? Happy New Year! Well, I went for my final drive. I don't know if I'd call it final, because hopefully I get to drive again. But anyway, we went through, test drove the digital dash. Everything is working that I can see other than my dimmer, which really sucks. And I don't know, and I'm done. I may research and find out what I did wrong, but I am not going to pull this dash back out anytime soon. The next time that any of this comes out, it'll be to get a nice red dash put in here instead of this cover lay on this gray dash. So that's where I'm at. I am totally satisfied. I will try to make this video as simple as possible. It's going to be a little bit long. I apologize for that, but it's totally worth it if you're into the digital dash stuff, guys.